guys, welcome back to Fit Trends. So today we're going to do an interesting topic because I was looking at little Miss Karen's stories with her Thrive, and you were talking about the skincare line, and the skincare line has CBD. And as someone who grew up in a household of I mean, they were doing some harder stuff too, but I have a lot of stoners in the family. Like a lot of them. I'm from California where it's legal. So people I think often get that confused. Like CBD oil and THC, not the same. CBD is actually not psychoactive. So I think that's where people get confused. But there are forms of CBD. So always make sure you read your labels, guys. There are forms of CBD that can have some THC in them and can cause you to test on a drug test. So just make sure, like with everything, read your labels. But I wanted to talk about it because I was like, that's one of those things that I think is often misconstrued. But CBD oil, from all the research that I've done, has a lot of positive effects. Like the only negative effects that I found were like it made some people feel tired, like fatigue, and like can mix with other drugs you're on.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much like the only thing that I found that was like negative. Everything else was like some of the one thing I didn't know was how long, and I mean it should be obvious now that I'm thinking about it, but like because it's a plant, but how long CBD has been used. So, and this is coming from the NIH, the National Institute of Health. It was discovered discovered in 1940, but is believed to have been used as far back as 2900 BC.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I was like the Jesus era was using herb.
That's funny you say that though, because a lot of people who argue about legalizing that I know, I haven't, I don't really do research on it, but like people that I know who want it to be legalized. Yeah, I was trying to think it's not really the CBD portion, but yeah, but like who want it to be legalized will be like, it's man-made. It's a plant. So that's just funny because I don't know. What do you think? God created the heavens and the earth. If that's what you believe, yeah. Okay.
Then he created the THC too. But yeah, excuse me. But that's kind of where that difference is from. There's, and now I didn't write down the name of the two different plants, but there's hemp, and then there's the marijuana plant, and they're like cousins. They're kind of the same plant, but they have different internal properties. Whereas I think it's the one plant that's hemp has less than but 0.05% THC, and the other plant is the one that has the THC. I didn't write down the specifics on it, but that's what I remember from reading. And that's where the two plants differ. It's the hemp seed and the hemp oil and the CBD come from the plant that has very minimum THC. But like I said, read the labels, because sometimes when they're extracting that oil, a little bit of THC still comes through and can make you test positive. So just look beforehand if that's depending on your job and your career.
Right.
But it is the hemp plant that is responsible for the majority of the benefits of cannabis. So the cannabinoid, or excuse me, it's called cannabidiol, is the CBD portion. I don't know if I'm butchering that, but what I was surprised about was it can actually help with, because I think the one that you hear about the most is cancer patients. A lot of cancer patients will use it to help with the chemo part, the nausea, helps them to eat and stuff.
Yeah, that is true.
But I was seeing that it helps with the main benefits that I found of CBD was pain. It relieves a lot of pain for people. It can help with, and this is all from the NIH website, guys, for fact checks. Great pain reliever, helps with anxiety, sleep disorders, and can even help with pain caused by arthritis and MS, multiple sclerosis. Sclerosis. Yeah. I can't say that very well, but which I think is cool. When you have illnesses, especially like MS, any type of pain relief is probably very much appreciated.
For sure. So from what I just found of like benefits of CBD, like when we're on that topic, my mom has MS. She does not, what do you want to say, treat at this time. And she also has stage 4 cancer. And so it has been considered. And she's still, I think, trying to figure out if that might be the best route for her. But as far as like benefits of CBD, I think for the MS, it's autoimmune. It has anti-inflammatory benefits.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can see that.
And then
being very useful in an effective treatment for sure.
And the other big one that I saw was it said, and I apologize for looking down. I'm reading my notes, guys. I don't have, a photographic memory over here, so I am looking at my notes. But it says reduces symptoms related to some mental health disorders like PTSD. So that would, like, my dad has PTSD from being in the army, and he has to take like a sleep aid at night to keep him from having nightmares. And so I thought that was actually really interesting, because I was like, oh, like that could probably help a lot of people coming back from war, and you don't necessarily have to like be smoking the herb. This is just literally the CBD portion, just the oil.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, because I think there's a stigma with like around the whole thing, like you just said, it's the
smoking
oil,
the herb,
yeah, versus smoking, like the oils, or you can even put it like in foods, right?
I've actually, the CBD oil, I don't know if the oil itself can be ingested. I'm not sure about that. I didn't look up that portion, but I know I myself have used the hemp seeds, like the ones that you get at the grocery store. Those actually have a lot of fiber in them, So if you need to go number 2, hemp seeds and shake. Hemp seeds in the shake helps a lot. But they're actually really, really good for you, the hemp seeds.
Okay, maybe I'm worth it. Well, I know there's like butter that they can use. Like,
I guess you can put the oil and stuff, because actually my husband's mom makes her own butters and stuff with that.
Like Rice Krispie treats or whatever.
Well, I think that's the THC portion, though. They make those into like edibles.
Okay, yeah. See, I'm not literally. I'm just knowledgeable of.
I come from a family of stoners. My mom used to be a stoner. My aunt is still a stoner. My cousin is still a stoner. So
we could have brought a guest on here. I'm sure.
I have a friend who I've been wanting to do the episode with for a while. She runs a dispensary in Cali.
Nice.
But
yeah. Well, maybe we could do a
scheduling conflicts. I can never seem to catch her.
That would be interesting. I would love to see that. Do part 2. Part 2 of CBD.
We have a lot of part 2s coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I can find some time with her. She's very knowledgeable in it. She is very pro ganja.
I mean, that's amazing. Like, for sure. I mean,
that's the one, for me, it's the one drug that has never bothered me. Like, I really don't care if you smoke pot, other than the fact that it to me kind of smells like, if you could just go do it over there and spritz yourself and come back. Like, I'm not a big fan of the smell, but other than that, like, I really don't care. It does not bother me. I've seen friends that are full-blown potheads and they still work like a full-time 50, 60 an hour a week job, like have a house, have a car, have everything figured out. But there is a flip side to it, and this can be a whole different topic, like addiction and stuff. There's a misconception with some stoners that you can't be addicted to pot, and you can be addicted to pot. You can, if you have an addictive personality, you can be addicted to anything. You can be addicted to coffee. And I've had to have a talk with my cousin a couple times, because like if he doesn't have his stuff to wake and bake, like he will be a grumpy asshole. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a problem, guy, if you can't get out of bed without it. That's when,
Well, and I knew somebody who they literally couldn't eat unless they smoked first. Like there was no physical ailment per se. Like we just talked about it being helpful for
cancer
those
patients and
struggling
chemo. Yeah.
appetite. Yeah, but he didn't. He just had to before every meal for appetite, or maybe it was even a mindset thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
Psychological.
yeah, you can have an addiction. Yeah, yes, there you go. Thank you. I was just having this conversation with my grandma the other day. Like, I feel like we all have an addiction to something. This is going sideways here. Why do I always do that? But
I do it too. I'm the one that started it, but I thought it was interesting, like, because that's a big misconception with it. Like they're like, oh, CBD, they inhibit like the CBD to the THC, and then they think like, oh, pot, the gateway drug, so it goes, the thought process with CBD in general, I think, goes sideways. So
well, yeah, and I think too, like I'm a mental health and addiction nurse by trade, so like I'm just like, oh, I'm like addiction. I'm like everybody has an addiction, like whether you want to believe it or not, I'm like it. So like when I would talk to my clients, patients, however you want to use the verbiage, like I would tell them like maybe our addiction is not the same. Like maybe we don't have the same addictions, but like I know what it's like to feel pain or hurt or have like an addiction. So everybody has some kind of addiction, but I believe it can be addictive. I really believe that it can. And that's just from my personal and professional experience,
Yeah, it can lead you to chase a bigger high. And I think that's where the gateway drug part of it comes from, is you start to get to when you start to, you start to get introduced to people who are maybe doing more than just that. And then that's kind of where that spirals. Sure. But it all depends, it's all you. And like, we'll do an episode on this actually. I would really like to go into addiction because I come from a family of it, and I have actually never touched anything. I've never touched any drugs, smoked pot, done anything because of what I witnessed as a kid. And I think that could be a whole episode on its own, kind of my experience with that. But
for sure.
I wanted to talk about the CBD portion because of your little skincare line. Now, I know what it does, like we've talked about pain and, helping with appetite and stuff when you're going through these chemicals and stuff that get put in you during chemo. What I don't know anything about it, what does it do for skin? Because I have like stuff going on here from high school.
So I'm gonna send you, it's actually in my order because I ran out, because I love to like, not only do we have a simple 3-step nutrition system, we have this simple, this is with Thrive, by the way, simple 3-step skincare system. Okay. And I love simple. Okay. Like if y'all been watching us, I'm a mom of 6. So simple is amazing to me. Anything simple, I'm on it. But this particular skincare system that we have, because we have other things, I'm going to send you, that's what I started to say. I'm waiting. It's coming. It should be here soon. I have samples that I want to send them to you and love on you and have you try these amazing products. But, and if anybody else is interested, please, comment, let us know. I'll do my tag or whatever it's called.
I'll put it in, I'm going to start, when I edit, I'm going to put them into the video. I always forget that part.
Let me know. We'll get you a sample in your hands to try these products. And then there's also a really good, we have a peptide gel that helps with like your skin, your hair, your nails. You guys, if you see a before and after of me from last year, this hair growth is insane. But with these ones, there's a peel, a serum, and an elixir. Like I love to say, like reduce, restore, and glow. Literally, you're going to be glowing. All right. If you've had pregnancies and they're like, oh girl, you are glowing, like you about to get that pregnancy glow back. Okay. So what does it do? And it's simple. This is it. And they are infused with your CBD. So it says, I don't know, can you see it? Like says right on there. So what does it do? It helps with aging. You can use this on stretch marks, mamas, or anybody
I
really.
need that
Like,
one.
yeah, anybody has stretch marks. Like if you're a lifter or if you've lost weight or gained weight and you have stretch marks that you want to, you know what I mean? Stretch marks, there's so many benefits for this that I want to talk about, and it's THC free. So my girl here, she's talking about the THC and the CBD. These are THC free, not tested on animals, no parabens, no sulfates, sulfate free, all of that. Safe for all skin types. But what does it do? It helps diminish wrinkles. And I'm going to make sure I'm touching on most of it. Corrects hyperpigmentation, fights aging. I talked about that. I literally feel like I aged backwards. With CBD, it has like the anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial benefits. But like these specifically, let's talk about, I'm just going to touch on briefly each one. So this is the peel. And with this one, you're going to exfoliate, like it's an exfoliation, get rid of those dead skin cells. And if you look up CBD, it does talk about that a little bit. And then your glow, right? So I always feel like as soon as I put that on, like, I'm like, ooh. And then the other one, your serum is just going to improve like the appearance of your skin. So I think that's where the whole like, what do you want to say? Not the aging back, like hyperpigmentation part comes from. Like it corrects all of those issues that you might have. And then the elixir is just restores. So this is the restore part. It's going to restore your skin, get that even skin tone, helps with the aging and moisturize all the cells in your skin. So like I said, you can use it like here. I just started like working on the stretch marks because I've heard about it for a while. But I was like, let me really see, like, you know, I've seen before and afters. I'm like, let me check this out. So I'm going to have to update that one. But it does say when you were talking about the ingredients, this is our cute little like flyer that comes with your pack if you do get this. But it has the cannabis sativa stem oil. That's where the CBD part comes from in these particular products.
And that
So,
sounds
yeah,
familiar.
like,
I think that's one of the plants. Like, remember I said there's like two different types of like the cousin plants. There's like the sativa and there's like another one.
I know. I couldn't remember the other one, and it'll hit me later. I know.
Yeah, they're cousin plants where they're the same thing, but they have a bit of different components inside.
I think they do different though. Like I think one's more like of a calming, and one's like the sativa is like more of a calming agent, and then like the other one's, from what I've heard, like I can't remember, does more of like a euphoria. Is that the word I want to say? We're gonna have to get them on that.
Yeah, but see, that's what I'm saying. I definitely want to try and use those and see. We can give some before and afters on my skin for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. But that's why, like, when you posted that, that's what made me think of the topic, because I was like, oh, people get, they go down that rabbit hole with it. And I think there's being able to show people kind of the distinction of it. Like there is actually separate plants. There's ones with THC and ones with and I think the percentage was like 0.03 in the other plant. Like it doesn't have very much.
Yeah. And then honestly, I was one of those people too. Like I'm like, oh, CBD. And I did kind of worry like with my job too. And I was like, oh, do I want to use something with like CBD? And I think you really just have to get out of that, like you said, that rabbit hole mindset of like, I mean, it has health benefits for sure. And it's been proven and tested. And I was like, all right, let me try this. And it's amazing. Like I don't know. This is the most advanced CBD skincare system out there. But it definitely helped me get out of that mindset, thinking CBD is bad, like, oh, and plus that there's no THC. So I had no worries using it, as far as my job, being a nurse. Like I was like,
well, and I think that's what a lot of people worry about. Like when you're in certain careers and stuff. And I know like when I used to be a 911 dispatcher. I've talked about it before for the sheriff's department. And when you're going through that background check, man, that background check takes months. And they're doing like every address you've lived at for the last 10 years, every roommate you've ever had, you have to write their name and information down. You have to go back and I had to do a psychological exam, a polygraph test, a physical exam. I mean, you got to go through a lot of stuff. And when they're doing the polygraph, they actually ask you, like, have you ever done any drugs? Do you know anyone who does drugs? Do you know anyone that sells drugs? Like,
wow, that's intense.
It was actually really, because the guy who was doing mine was like a former CIA agent. Like it was really,
wow.
It was really scary, but at the same time I kind of felt confident because like I'm like, this guy has interviewed like really bad people, so he could tell in me like that I'm probably just like a nervous little, shy person. Like I'm not, like he'll be able to tell the difference between me and like a serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's intense though.
But like I was saying, like you worry about stuff like that because when you're in those kind of jobs, they ask you about that kind of stuff. They'll and that's what made me think of it. They look at you have to write down in the background packet like every social media you have. They'll do a Google search of you, look at all of your posts, see what you're doing, see what you're saying, seeing who you're friends with. And so like you worry about that stuff. Like, oh, if they see CBD all over my page, they're gonna think like I'm a certain kind of way.
Yeah. And that's interesting and actually factual too, because somebody had reached out to somebody who I know about being a sponsor, and the person had like, it wasn't just talk of CBD oil. Like we're talking about some healthy lifestyle changes, like taking care of your skin is your largest organ. You know what I mean? This is a total different convo, but this person was actually smoking it and had it very visibly on the page. And the person's like, you know what, clean up your page a little bit and revisit us, and then you can sponsor. Oh, FYI. So this cute little bag I give to for free. It's Bath and Body Works. Shout out to Bath and Body Works. I love you.
Oh my God. I can spend hundreds of dollars in that damn store.
I'm obsessed. But with the 3-step system. So you always get this cute little bag for me because I think it's so cute to just be able to put your stuff in there. But no, they were like, clean up your page, clean it up and then come back to us, because that's not what, they didn't want, that they weren't advertising that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where that, that's what you were talking about. I've heard
stuff like that too, like with like Disney is a big one. Like you have to be very like straight as a line when you're working for them. Like in your contract, there's like a lot of behavioral clauses, and as soon as like if you break that or they catch you slipping.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people were, that's a real life thing that people are gonna be concerned about, and there is a stigma to it. Mm-hmm. And now I think like when we have that friend of mine on, she might be able to she's probably going to talk a lot more about the THC portion, and that can be a whole different rabbit hole on its own. But as far as the CBD, I don't see anything wrong with the CBD. I think the oil of the plant itself is beneficial. Obviously, from research done by a lot of different people, it's actually both for your skin, your health, like inside pain, inflammation. I don't think people realize inflammation doesn't sound that bad. Like you're like, oh, you're just a little like puffy and sore. Inflammation causes a lot of today's diseases and issues. Inflammation is a big thing.
Yeah.
It can be the beginning cause of a lot of stuff.
For sure. And I think like a lot of autoimmune conditions, a lot of the pain is coming from inflammation. Your body is like attacking yourself for whatever reason, and it doesn't know what's going on. So I feel like that's how it can be super helpful for so many different things. But I think the stigma around it, and I think if people just do the research and then make your sound decision for what is best for you, then it can be very beneficial, in so many ways.
And don't be afraid, you know, to give it a shot, and don't be afraid of the stigma, because part of stigmas in themselves and stuff, the only way to change them is to be open, to try these things out and be open about your experience and open about talking about it, so that you can change it. You can wipe away kind of that thought that everyone has in the back of their mind. If enough people show the reality, then eventually it's gonna sink in that that persona that had got isn't correct.
Yeah.
Eventually, might take a little bit, but
yeah, and completely change their life. You know, a lot of the things that people are skeptical about, I think, like if they just would like open up to it, it could completely change your life, you know? And this can go for so many things.
I love that Thrive is definitely into their 3 steps. They got 3-step food, 3-step skin, 3-step.
You know what? Yes, keep it simple. What is that? Keep it simple, stupid. No, I don't want to offend anybody. That's actually a book, right? Yeah. But I'm not calling you stupid by all means. No, nobody. But I think it's true. Like, keep it simple. I think like life is so hectic as it is and stressful as it is and busy that it's like, why not? But I feel like if you take that time for you first, for me, it's so much more manageable with all the other stuff. So yeah, I need simple and I like easy, and I like to feel my best, you know? Like
Yeah.
I just love to feel my best. And I felt like crap for so long that even something so simple as like a skincare product, you know, that something that makes me feel better about myself and has all these amazing benefits with the use of CBD. Hello, you know?
And that's why I'm saying, and some people will get so into that thing in the back of their brain that they won't even want to give it a shot. But
yeah,
that's why I think conversations like this are cool, and that's what made me want to bring it up, because I was like,
yeah.
oh, we can change some minds here. And I definitely want to bring that friend on, because she's going to give the flip side about, I have a couple of friends that always try to get me down that THC rabbit hole where they're like, oh, but you don't understand, like, and they get really into it. If I'll say anything about some of those hardcore stoners, man, they're really enthusiastic and passionate. Yeah. But I love it. Like, if you really think that something could help someone and benefit them, I'm all for you being enthusiastic about it. Like,
For sure.
that's kind of the whole point of this podcast, man, is to just show people different things and kind of try it out for them and let them know. Like, we're going to be completely honest. Like, if something works or doesn't work, or this is probably bad for you, like, it's all research and then like experience. Like, you don't have much experience with it, whereas I have grown up in Southern California around a bunch of potheads. So I have seen every aspect of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a cultural thing too, because my brother moved to California for a long time, and he was, I don't know, what I call him, a stoner, like literally. Maybe he won't want me to say that. Maybe I better not. I'm just gonna stop it right there.
His mind was changed. We'll just leave it that way.
Yeah, the culture was different. The culture was different there based on, you know, where we had grown up and what we grew up with. So there we go. But what's my tag? Instagram, Kashley KASHLEYRN6. Looking forward to meeting you all on there and communicating and connecting.
Yes.
TikTok, check out whatever she does with that, with the link for that.
Yeah, I'm still working on that, guys. I'm still working on my editing, but I will be posting clips from the episodes before they come out, so that you can kind of see a little bit of the madness and whatever we're talking about. Fit Trends with Presley Christine TikTok. Obviously, check out the Fit Trends with Presley Christine Instagram, and then I am at It's Presley Christine. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we're enjoying this and all the other crazy topics, and whatever you want to hear us talk about, just like comment and let us know, and we will go down the rabbit hole for you so that you don't have to.
Yes, exactly. We thank you and appreciate you all.
And check out the merch store. We still have that still have that sale going for a little bit longer. 40% off. Hashtag birthday girl. Alrighty,
Super.
guys. Love you. Thank you, Karen. We shall continue this another time.
All right. See ya.